If you're not good emotionally, you're never going to be good in business. I've been learning that in the hard way. And I think so that's something that shifted my life completely, Sometimes you need to be open-minded to things change, a point, and always try to give it the best you have, really.
Yeah,
If you're going to do something, just try to push the best you can do, And if I don't know how to do it, teach me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch you, like, let me help you, let me support you,
Mm-hmm.
You start hitting real estate business, jewelry business. You start hanging out with so many high-end people. They are the number ones in Nashville. How you do that? You have a PR company. You have a marketing company. I'm like, no, it's just me. You start helping others without asking nothing. You start earning respect. And when you earn respect, people help you indefinitely.
Welcome to the Explore.NASH Podcast. We are so glad that you're taking the time to listen to today's episode. Today, we are talking about Michelin-star coming to Nashville, possibly even Tennessee. We're talking about different pop-up events that are happening throughout the city. We're talking about race cars. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. So joining me on today, so let's mark that. So joining me on today's episode is Rey Bello. Rey, thank you so much for coming on the show. We happened to meet through a mutual friend a couple months ago.
Correct.
And you are killing it right now in the live event space in Nashville. So just walk me through some of the events that you've hosted over the last few months.
Well, for the last few months, I bring a food ambassador for Japan 2024. Okay, he's a 4-year in a row Michelin-star chef from Valencia, Spain. We team up with Sushi Bar to do a special 20-course omakase dinner. The event was sold out in 48 hours. So, yeah.
So what other type of events have you done? You've done a live tuna cutting recently.
Yeah, we're doing.
You were down in Mexico doing a Formula One type thing, right?
Yeah, with Ferrari, we opened the ship in Ferrari, Mexico. We team up with Meet the Chef in Mexico to take over the opening for the new tailor-made Ferrari dealership in Mexico City. It was an incredible experience. And after that, we opened the tuna show. Like we started doing a more often tuna shows. At the beginning, we do it in January. We LA Jackson in the Thompson Hotel. It was crazy. We have 220 people watching the show and tasting the show and grabbing a fork and eat it, all the tuna from the ribs and watching every cut and tasting. And after that, we just do one and Val, who is a visual art gallery. When me and Alfredo Bueno from 888, he's a chef from 888, cut a full tuna in front of everybody, 155-pound tuna from Spain. Yeah.
So before you were into this type of live event culinary experience, you were in the car world.
Yes.
And you've been in the car world for a very, very long time.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you get to Nashville?
Nashville, well, I was immigrant. I flew from Caracas, Venezuela, because political situations.
So you're escaping communism?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm, yeah. I followed political refugee in the United States, and home has been Nashville since 2006.
But you came to Nashville. You didn't know anybody.
Mm-mm.
You didn't know English.
Nope.
So walk me through your story of escaping communism to come to America.
Well, in the beginning, everything started when Chavez took power of the country. Things start switching. And the left side, with jobs, with exchange of money, we know properties. Like you can own more than 2 properties, 3 properties. If you own so much, you need to give it to the government. So things like that. So I never agree with those vision. And I think so I was young enough to I had time to, I don't have family, I don't have kids, I don't have nothing to attach me to the country. So I decided to immigrate to the United States. And supposedly going to stop in Miami. That was my home will be Miami. But we have some friends in mutual, and they offer me their home. They offer me jobs. They offer me everything. But they split. As a couple, they split. And my friend Julio moved to Nashville, Tennessee when he got a cousin. And he's like, hey, Rey, what do you tell me? What do you want to do? You stay in Miami or you want to come to Nashville, Tennessee? So as a man thing, I follow my friend. So I said, let's go to Nashville, Tennessee. And that's been home since 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I started working in the Rivergate Mall as a housekeeper, After that, I started working construction. And construction, I introduced my papers for political refugee. And my first job as a U.S. job was working in the Smyrna factory, Nissan, you know. So it was super cool, honest. I worked there for 2 years and I started learning about the American life, you know, taxes, you know, making money, investing, how you can start jumping from one job to another job, just don't stuck in one only job. Because a lot of people just do that, you know, just typical city, you come into America, you comfortable, I was making at the time, I think so like $14 an hour and I thought it was rich, you know? So things start growing and for mistake, honest, I ended in the car business. I want to buy a FJ Cruiser and I walked to Beaman Toyota. I don't speak English at that time. The manager was Puerto Rican, so he sold me the car and he sold me the job.
So, okay, so that was probably what, 2009, 2010?
I started in the car business in 2008.
2008, okay. So what was your background in the car business after taking that job at the Beaman dealership?
I don't have no experience at all in the car business. I didn't speak English.
Yeah.
So the funny part is when I took the job, they started getting the training and, you know, usually supposedly you get the gear guarantee for 3 months. And the chef,
You're confusing jobs. Yeah.
The manager started explaining me everything about how I approach customers and showing cars and demo the cars and all the features of the car. I'm a car lover before. So for me, it was super easy to learn about pretty much the showing of the car business.
So you're on the sales side?
Yeah, sales
okay.
side. Yeah, in the beginning, I started on the sales side. And from that point, 2 weeks later, he was my translator. Like, I don't speak English and pretty fluent, so now I can communicate with everybody.
Yep.
So 2 weeks later, he got fired. So I lost that translator, you know?
Yeah. So you had to learn English the hard way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the general manager put me through the office. He said, hey, Ray, I'm sorry this happened, but I want to give you the same chance I give it to everybody. You got 3 months trial. If you make it good, if not, maybe you can call your old boss and see if you can get your job back. And I said, let me learn. So my first month, I sold 21 cars.
Wow.
Yeah. I was super friendly.
Yeah.
Honest. I think so I got a story. I think so I was super nice to everybody. So everybody feel maybe sorry in the beginning to political refugee. Was not too many Venezuelans in that time. So it was a cool story to explain what my family is, what I was doing here, all that. So that helped me through the car experience. By second month, I sold 27 cars. By the 4th month, the top salesman in Beaman Toyota tell me, say, hey, son, let me teach you how to sell cars. And like I said, sorry, I don't need you. You know, I've been doing pretty well. My paycheck is good. The guy's like, son, like, people feel sorry for you. That's why they're buying cars. So at one time, your story going to run off.
How did that make you feel?
In the beginning, it's true. You know, because when you pass on knowledge and you know business and you know different, maybe it's not your market, you know what a life is. So I completely understand that what he was telling me is 100% true. In the beginning, I was naive to like, oh, everything is nice in America, but at one point, things run off. So it was true. I need to learn how to sell. So I took the job as an assistant. So I passed from salesman to be his assistant. But he was the number 1 Toyota salesman in the United States. He was selling 60 cars a month.
Oh.
Yeah, like a machine.
Yeah.
For real. Like that guy will sit down in his office, TV.
Basically 2 cars a day.
More than that. Like Saturday, the first day I remember, it was a Friday, 3 p.m. I show up to his office and he says, son, tomorrow get ready. I'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So he put his watch and we're going to sell 3 cars. We go home. And I look at him like, it's Saturday. And he's like, I know, but I need to do my things. I want to go to the casino and that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I show up at 7 o'clock that morning and he was playing poker in the table. He always loved playing poker in the table by himself. And he looked at the watch and he said, what are you doing here so early? And I said, you tell me we're going to sell 3 cars. So I want to prepare everything. He's like, no, go and grab some breakfast and I'll see you 8 o'clock. So that's what we did. I show up at 8 o'clock. We sold 3 cars. About 12 o'clock, I was done for the day. That never happened in the car business. The car business Saturday is the most religious day.
Yeah.
Like, when I quit the car business, I don't know what to do Saturday.
Yeah.
Like, it was a Saturday and was like, what I do now? Like, can I go back? And you feel weird, honest, like when you're in the car business and work Saturdays. So all that started the transition to start learning. He was the number one salesman. He got even more power than even managers. Really, he got his own parking spot. He got so much privilege in the area that he started teaching me everything about finance, tradings. It was super cool, the school that I learned from him. I worked for him for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Until the market started crashing. When the stock market crashing and I started meeting so many friends, I jumped into the Bahia per year business.
Okay.
With one of my good friends, Tracy McMurtry, so he started teaching me how everything to do but when Bahia per year.
Mm-hmm.
Sell the paper, hold the paper, make sure the customer's making the payments, repossessions, do everything. Mm-hmm. So I learned the good side and the bad side for the business,
What's the biggest sales advice that you can give somebody?
It's hard, be honest, because you never know where it will take you or whoever you meet on the road, and that's what I even learned because all this new experience that I got with a Michelin chef. I'm not a chef at all. I'm a foodie. That's it. I can cook you a grilled cheese sandwich or something basic.
Or maybe baller. Yeah.
But I don't know how is time cooking or switching, temperatures or, marinated for hours and moving. Like, I don't know those techniques. But sometimes you need to be open mind to things change, a point, and always try to give it the best you have, really.
Yeah.
If you're going to do something, just try to push the best you can do,
What was a sale that you're most proud of?
What do you mean?
In the car world or selling, you've sold in one or two businesses, haven't you?
Yeah.
What's been a sale that you've been most proud of? You're like, okay, I did this, I sold this, that was cool.
Honest, I think so. Coming from the Latin community, and that time it was not a Latin manager. Like everybody was pretty much 100% American.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard to jump into the car business as a Latin person.
Yeah.
Accent, learn the respect from everybody. A lot of people, you talk to them as a boss and they're like, come on, you Latin guy, from here, like this is not your place. This is our place. This is our market. So when I started learning the car business, it was like that, but I always been friendly with everybody. Like, I expecting you, if I tell you we need to sell the car, I can be the manager, or I can be the salesman, or I can be the detail guy. I can help anything.
Yeah.
I can do everything from A to Z in the car business. And I never will ask somebody something that I can do.
Yep.
And if I don't know how to do it, teach me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll watch you, like, let me help you. Let me support you, So I learned that. And I think it's a foreigner thing, because it's know your country, it's know your area, and you just want to make friends because you don't have friends.
Yeah.
So I started learning in that way, and I started learning finance, and I started working with Tracy in Pinnacle Bank, and I started learning all the behind doors, what is the really car business. So I have a chance to be a sales manager to have a chance to be a GSM, and GSM to be a general manager. So I started really jumping one by one, proving myself. It wasn't like never give it to me. Like, hey, this is the key. Go open your store. It was always a mistake. It's always a timing. That somebody need to be available. And I knew everything. And I jump and I take over and I succeed.
What did you learn from what was the biggest thing you learned from being a general sales manager?
Honest, it's so hard to keep your mind straight versus emotionally and business. If you're not good emotionally, you're never going to be good in business. I've been learning that in the hard way. If things are not good in home, never going to be good in your personal life.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so that's something that shifted my life completely. As a general salesman manager, you start learning about profitability from the cars. Like, you need to make everybody happy. The salesman sometimes works so hard to get that deal, and maybe you lose some money on the front. But if you don't make that sale, you destroy all his energy for the rest of the month.
Yeah.
Because he need that car to reach that bonus, or he need that extra unit because he have a bad day in home, and he need that $250, $500 he's gonna make as a commission. So sometimes it's hard to balance everything, numbers, store, customers, surveys, but it's so incredible to learn that because you start learning different things that help you in the future. Like now I see everything as a business. Before I would see everything as a salesman, like a day by day. Now I see things 30 days ahead. So that's been helping me so much with the Michelin events. That's been helping me so much. We even reach customers, to reach new clients, to reach new projects, because I have experienced I think to say this, if you can sell a car, you can sell anything in this world, because car business is so hard.
Oh, there's a lot of competition too.
I don't care about the competition, to be honest with you. Competition, if they're in your house, is my house.
Yeah.
Like, now we need to make you happy. But it's so many things. So imagine it, color of the car, interest rates, upside down, car payments, wife like the car, you like the car, sizes, fuel efficiency, insurance. So sometimes you have so many things that you maybe find the perfect car, but why look at you and say, hey, we don't need this car. We think it to have a baby and the next year. So we don't need this convertible. And if you sell this convertible, you maybe going to make a great commission, or it's a great behind the pay or the bonus. You're going to need a unit. But sometimes it's hard to come in with all those objections. So when you learn how to control all those objections, you can sell anything you want. So I tell everybody, the best school you can get in life is be a car salesman. And it's been, now in this day, things start coming clean, honest, thanks to Carvana, thanks to, CarMax, one price, one way, one deal. Honest, the customers know more about the car than you. Honest, like.
Yeah, because they're doing their research ahead of time.
Oh my God, like sometimes they know things they're
watching the YouTube videos.
You don't even know, And when you start doing those things, you start providing more information. You just only focus on the interest rate. You only focus on make the customer happy. Now is happiness. Before it was sell. Now it's more customer service, customer satisfaction, a survey, a good review. Like sometimes you take a bad deal because that person can give you a great review online, or you can do a great video with the customer, take a delivery with the kid, and the kid is happy in the store. Like all those things matter right now. It's more about the big community to what you can build in the car business,
What did you learn about hospitality in the car business?
Wow. And the hospitality in the beginning, when I learned, it was completely different. It was 2008, 2006. Internet was super slow. Everybody shopping through magazines, So if people like the car, they show up. And it was no internet to research if the car was $3,000 cheaper in somewhere else, or they have all the unit, nothing like that. Now, hospitality, I think, so runs the world. Like a bad review can hurt you more than 20 good reviews. So, and it's not just about the review, it's about the experience. I learned this from Disney. When you go to Disney, you can buy water outside in the park for $3. When you're in the park, now it's at $6. And it's not just the water, it's Disney make you feel like everything is a dream. So you want to buy the photo package, you want to buy the plushies, you want to buy the Goofy hat, you want to buy everything because make you and your family feel amazing. That feeling don't have price. So when somebody give you that feeling, is sometimes you not get that feeling that many times, So when you get hospitality and you create a great experience, when you turn around, you see 40, 70 people happy, sharing the same moment, sharing the pictures, tagging the person in the picture, creating the experience, sharing to their friends. That's something that you can say, you know what, I did something good. It's not just about the money or the fame that you get because you start doing this event. It's about, I enjoy more everything. For me, everybody asks me, when I bring the Michelin chef to Nashville, honest, logistic works the hardest thing I do in my life. Because he was the food ambassador for Japan for 2024. So he got plenty business through the year. Number 2, he's in Valencia, Spain. Number 3, figured it out a new market in Nashville that, yes, everybody do pop-ups, but everybody do pop-ups between chefs. So profit is so short because you're my friend, I'm your friend, let's going to make a deal together, and whatever we make, we split it. Now I start bringing a super high caliber chef worldwide to Nashville, Tennessee, to find his fish, to find his product, to find a restaurant that can fit really his cuisine. So when you find all those things, the check, now it's coming the logistic to make everybody happy, to make sure that all event, you cannot miss nothing because this guy is flying from Spain.
And then
to an event.
And you have to make it profitable.
And
for all the work that you've done.
Yes. And sometimes, honest, in the beginning, it's not just about the money. It's about how everything started for me. It was to bring a cool experience to share with my friends. I never see the money in the beginning. That's how the crazy part is. But for me, when I finished that event, everybody asked me, it's like, hey, man, you happy that you sell, 168 tickets, that you do this? I said, no. For me, the best part was the first night I can eat with my son down on my casa dinner. And he even told me, he said, Dad, can I ask to be a week off from the school so that way I can spend time with the chef? Mm-hmm. So for me, that's something super cool that my son see as a vision, that he's just a foodie like me. Mm-hmm. He can eat anything. He eat octopus, he scallops, whatever is crazy, he love it. So for me, that my son, my 12-year-old asked me to, hey, I want to be a part of this. For me, it was the best accomplishment I have. Mm-hmm. So even when I see him next to me and the chair and eating, and every bite that he was trying, he was like, oh my God, Dad, everybody's better than ever. Mm-hmm. We put a Dr. Pepper in his glass of wine. Yeah. So he was sharing with us and having good fun. And it's so nice to see you kid doing that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I make 168 people happy. But the only person who mattered for me that day was him, mm-hmm. And fill you up. Mm-hmm. So when you start seeing that everything is start creating good emotions, good feedback, people's like, hey, when is next one? Even the restaurant, sushi bar is like, hey, well, can you help us? Yeah. Well, what we can do to make something different? Mm-hmm. Because you just don't hit the restaurant business. You start hitting real estate business, jewelry business. You start hanging out with so many high-end people. They are the number ones in Nashville. How you do that? You have a PR company. You have a marketing company. I'm like, no, it's just me. Making friends, knowing people locally, always help people, and always be open to do anything. Mm-hmm. So when you start creating all that community, that you start helping others without asking nothing, in exchange, you start earning respect. Mm-hmm. And when you earn respect, people help you indefinitely. Honest. I think so that's the hardest part even for learning the car business. My biggest fear in the car business was always respect. Because you're always coming from the underdog. A funny accent, a foreigner, everything is, a chef, on a restaurant, So it's hard to come into your house and tell you, let's do something when I never done before. I never do it. Really, my first event was bring a Michelin chef. That's a big accomplishment. And do all the logistic, flights, fish, delivery,
hotel stays,
everything. Yeah. Like the best part.
Now you're a travel planner.
Yes, it's been crazy how things have been connected because food. Yeah, like I make great friendships in the car business, but my friends in the car business, it was always 1, 2, and 3. Mm-hmm. I do a deal, Ray. I need a car. Okay, what car are you looking for? My wife looking for this. Oh, nice. Thank you, Stuart. Thank you for the business. I'll see you in 2 years again when you need another car. Now, food industry opens every day. It's crazy, and I know a lot of chefs in town. Like, I can consider my friends. So if somebody need a reservation in Noco, they call me. And I text Wilson, and I don't care if it's 3 a.m., 9 a.m., 12 a.m., Wilson always reapply me. If I need a food advisor, Junior, where do you buy your steak? Hey, this is my contact. Present tense, hey, my food distributor is Yama. So when Yama flew to Nashville, Tennessee, we met in a hotel, have a breakfast together. We become great friends. He flew from Jersey to cut my first tuna. The owner of the company flew to cut my own tuna because he wanted 100% success in my business. Mm-hmm. Because he was believing on my vision. He was believing on my energy to how I vision this and start changing a little by little the food experience.
So where was the transition? You stopped working as a GM in car business. Mm-hmm. You became more of a consultant. You consulted for a few different dealerships.
Yes.
So where was that transition point of like, I want to host a cool event for my friends, and the only way I can do this is through food?
Honest, everything starts a mistake.
Okay.
I took a vacation to Mexico. Okay.
When was this?
That was last year, 2024. Me and my fiance, we took a vacation to Mexico, Tulum. We're having fun. And I told her, hey, I'm going to take a new job consulting and I have like a 2 weeks window. Do you mind if I go to Spain? And she's like, how you going to go to Spain without me? And like, well, you need to go back to work and I'm only going to see my uncle. Like, I want to take the time to go and see my uncle for a week. It's been almost 8 years I don't see my uncle. And I just want to spend time with him. It's nothing like I'm going to travel Spain and backpacking, nothing. So she's like, okay, go. So I took a trip to Spain. And honest, I have great time to see my cousins, my uncle, my little cousin. It's been so many years I don't see them. So we have fun in Spain, walking, travel, do everything. But I told them I'm a foodie. My aunt is a yogi and she knows that I love food. And she's like, Ray, we eat in this restaurant. It's amazing. Your uncle know the owner, but it always sold out. And she said, for real, like the reservations every month and they sold out every month. Let's going to text him to see if he can make us a reservation. So they text them and they only can find 2-seaters. So me and my uncle, we go to Valencia early. We drink some coffee. We walk to the city and it was time to eat for dinner. So I go to dinner to the restaurant and we start eating. I have one of the most crazy sushi rolls I tried in my life. They bring their bunch of rolls and I remember tasting the roll and I tasted.
What type of fish was it?
It was eel.
Okay.
Yeah, it was eel roll. But the craziest thing, it was the aftertaste was lime.
The eel tasted like a lime?
No, like when you eat it, it was taste like an eel. But when you swallow it, the aftertaste, it was lime.
Interesting.
Never tried something like that before. So in my mind, I'm like, this is crazy. So I tell my uncles, hey, can you try this roll? He tried. And I'm waiting for his expectation. He's like, did this thing got lime? I'm like, dude, I don't see no lime nowhere. So chef coming.
Yeah.
And I asked the chef. He says it's a technique that we're using.
Is there a particular cut?
It's a technique they put on that when you swallow, touch all your stomachs and bring a sensation, a different flavor. I'm like, wow, that's so crazy. So the owner come in, recognize my uncle. We start talking. And the talking start talking about that he lived 6 months in Japan. He lived 6 months in Valencia. And that he owned 3 restaurants. 2 of his restaurants are Michelin stars already. So I start asking questions about Michelin and, how he do it and logistic and all that. But the love coming from Japanese cars. So he loved Japanese cars. I love Japanese cars.
What's your favorite?
Godzilla. Yeah, Nissan Skyline. So the funny part is that's how we both say in the same time.
Okay.
And my uncle, we start talking and we start talking about Toyota FJ Cruisers and all exotic cars, Mitsubishis, all that. And my uncle asked him and said, hey, what's your favorite car? And before he answered, he asked me and said, hey, what is your favorite car? And when I want to say it, we both say in the same time, we could say Godzilla. And my uncle's like, Godzilla? What is Godzilla? And we're like, man, that's a Nissan GTR. That's a Mona Lisa of the Japanese culture. So we click right there and we start talking about even exporting and importing cars from Japan to Nashville. So everything starts a car. After that, 2 hours talking, he's like, I tell him, hey, do you mind how's your busy? How's your time? He's like, it's really busy. I like, man, do you never thinking to do a pop-up in the United States? Or open a business in the United States. So he explained me how hard it is for the Europeans to open business. And I said, listen, I know a lot of friends in the food industry. Do you mind if I text them to see the open mic? So he's like, what area you live in United States? I say Nashville, Tennessee. When I say Nashville, Tennessee, his eyes pop this big. And like, he got so excited. So he started calling everybody like I wasn't a superstar or something like that. He said, man, he's from Nashville, Tennessee. And I said, why you so excited? I'm like, man, look, number 3 in Expedia. I'm like, what? So he started telling me about the honky tonk. They know about everything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Chicken, hot chicken, everything. They knew everything about Nashville than me. So they was so excited.
Has he ever been?
No, never. First time.
Yeah. Okay.
Never. They just see us he lived in Michigan years ago. He was a kid, but never coming to Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
But really, it's like a big deal right now in Europe, Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh, teach.
Yeah. So Nashville, Tennessee bring the interest rate to them. To like, oh, wow, I like that. So I said, listen, I know a couple restaurants. Do you mind if I reach them? And if I can get in touch with them, we can maybe put something together. But, sometimes it's a Michelin-star chef on 3 restaurants, super successful guy in Spain, who going to come into Nashville, Tennessee to do a pop-up. So 3 days later, he texts me through WhatsApp. He said, hey, can you send me your picture of your passport? I'm like, huh?
That's weird. Yeah.
And like he said, you know what? I got great chemistry with you. Me and Ulises and Joshi. Josh is the chef. Ulises is the owner. We got great chemistry with you. We're going to do an event in Los Cabos. And we don't have nobody to take with us in Los Cabos from Spain. So I know you're close to Baja California. Do you want to go? And I said, well, if I go, I'll go with my fiance. He said, done. I'm going to connect you with the government of Mexico. Set up everything with him. His name is Rodrigo. Put everything together with him. We pay for your dinner. So like in the beginning, it sounds like it's weird. You meet somebody 3 years ago, great friendship, but so I text Rodrigo, say, hey, Rodrigo, Josh, tell me, put him in contact with you. Yeah, send me your Instagram. So I send my Instagram. He started following me. He's like, oh, yeah, you big foodie guy. He said, I would love to have you in the dinner. I said, okay, tell me what I need to pay. He said, don't worry. I like, send me pictures of your passport, set up the flights. I reimburse you for the flights. Roomies will take care by Nobu. I'll see you here. So we took a 3-day trip to Nobu and Los Cabos. Amazing. Really, we met so many people. Like we met Chef Edgar, who owns a restaurant in San Jose, who's in the top 50s of Mexico. The guy shut down the restaurant to cook for us that night. He gave a full tasting of his menu. It was unbelievable.
Did you have experiences like this beforehand?
Not like one-on-one like that.
Okay.
And not to that level.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Sal Bay cooked for us in New York.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like he shut down the restaurant to prep him, everything. It was a mistake too. Sal Bay coming to us. My girlfriend at that time look at him. He said, oh my God, he's here in the restaurant. I'm like, huh? He said, yeah, he's dressing like a soccer player. I'm like, cool. And say hi? He said, yeah, he said hi to me, but I freaked out. So the same thing, I go, the guy say hi to me and I introduce myself and the guy's like, you from Middle Eastern? I'm like, no, man, I'm from Nashville, Tennessee. So he said, do you have a waiter already? The waiter took you offer? Do you order? I'm like, no. He said, do you mind if I cook for you? I'm like, bro, that would be amazing,
Mm-hmm.
So he show up, man, with towel, cook the steak, cut it, tasting, do everything for us. Show me all his restaurant, every meeting, every knife that he got when he opened a restaurant. So it was super cool. But that was my crazy experience every day in the restaurant. Now, when you go to Nobu and you know the chef and you start going behind the kitchen with a Michelin chef and they start asking you techniques and help him and do things like that, it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
So we create a great connection. And I start helping Mexico now with events because like we do Ferrari right now, we opening the new Ferrari TaylorMade and Ferrari because of that connection. I create great chemistry. They're my friends now, like a personal friends. They can come into Nashville, they can stay in my house and I can go to Mexico and I can stay in Mexico City with them. But that's how we create it. And that's what I learned in the food industry, the friendship level. If it's genuine, they open the doors for you. They don't care who you are. I never see that in the car business or in the life insurance business. Everybody's all the time, what do you have? What do you got? Show me what, how much is the cut for me? Food is, come on, put that in front and help us. So that's what I've been learning. So I start doing connections with Mexico City. Well, not just Mexico City, like all Mexico government. And that way, with Michelin chef, we start finding like every year or every 6 months, we need to find 2 Michelin chefs. Right now, I'm helping them to bring 2 chefs from Nashville, Tennessee to cook barbecue and hot chicken in Mexico because
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the cool part is this. What I learned when I bring the Michelin chef to Nashville, first, Sushi Bar treat us like we was part of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Really, for me, like the connections that I got with Sushi Bar right now is like family. It was business, but now it's like part of the family. Like Ryan Stock treat me like we best friends. We text every day. We share ideas. We flew to Austin to open the new Sushi Bar. Like we consulting to each other, like we supporting so much the ideas that even if I don't do sushi, we still collaborating together. So what you learn that is food industry opened the door so well. And when I see the Michelin chef arrive to Nashville and they introduce all the staff from sushi bar from the dishwasher to the general manager, treat him like he was part of the team. You know, everybody tried to learn different techniques, how to cut a sardine, how to torch it, how to do the rice, how to marinate things. So they learn trips and tips, not trips, like a tips on the kitchen that they learn from 20 years or 10 years. That these guys been everywhere, you know? So they're learning in 4 days and they help elevate the kitchen at another level. So it's cool when you start bringing chefs from high-end Michelins to help local chef. Now the kitchen is even elevated. So it's so good that you see in that to help the city too, because now everybody start talking about, and everybody's really like me and you were talking about it before. We even want to try to find a way how we can bring Michelin to Nashville. And now they took the initiation to start doing for themselves because we got so much Michelin talent here.
Who do you think's going to be the first Michelin star out of Nashville? That's Junior?
I like Noko as a super top contender. Locus.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
Trevor, super top contender. Peninsula, super top contender. Cadbury Seat, like, it's so many, man, that we have. And the good part for Michelin right now, and I've been learning that from Spain market and Mexico market, is they don't care how fancy you are. Yeah, they have 2 stars and 3 stars. But the 1 star can be the taqueria that I eat in Mexico.
Or a barbecue restaurant in Texas.
Yeah, but when I eat in Mexico, I was sharing the sauce can for everybody with a spoon. It was no fancy, nothing. Everybody was sharing. Everybody was passing around. You standing, eat a taco. And it was a Michelin-star taqueria. So it's about the flavor. It's about what that food did for you and how good it is. So I think so that we'll have maybe between 3 or 4 restaurants who will earn the star this year, honest. And another restaurant that will make the guide Michelin. But it's not just a star. You have the guide Michelin too, who they tell you, hey, they not earned the star yet, but they on the on comment, you know, and they start tweaking a couple things, they can be Michelin stars, you know. Like Ryan Constanza from Present Tense. Like you got so many good chefs. You got Junior, you got Trevor, you got Josh, so many for real. Like Julio from Maíz de la Vida. Like, man, you got so many crazy people in town. They start elevating the kitchen so well, you know? And this is what everybody asks me, say, man, what are we going to do if we win the star? I said, the star will help the restaurant and you will never eat there anymore as a local. They're like, why? I said, because it's reservations. What they're going to do is, for the hard working, they've been working for years. Now all their books is going to be sold out every year.
For next year. Or 2 years.
You know?
Yeah.
And everybody's going to take a picture. Everybody's going to take the biggest plate of what the things so they win the Michelin star and what is the favor from the chef and a special cut for the chef. So yes, as a reservation and tasting is going to be incredible for the restaurant. And for us, it's going to be so hard to get reservations. Yeah. You know, but I think this is going to help so much Michelin bring it to Nashville because a lot of market now are going to start improving their food quality too.
Where do you think the Nashville restaurant scene is going?
Oh. I think it is unlimited. Honest. Like, Nashville has been changing on the food industry for the last 5 years. Quietly. Hard.
Well, you remember 2006, 2007, when you moved here. It was chain restaurants. That's it. It was Shoney's. It was these really terrible concepts.
That's it. It was nothing crazy. I remember that one of my favorite.
No offense to anyone who likes Shoney's, but like,
it's true. Yeah, everything was
they're going out of the
garden, Red Lobster. You know, so but in that time, I remember that we go to East Nashville to eat a roast pepper. You know, it was like the coolest thing. It was eat roast pepper in that time. You know. And they start open different restaurants and people like to buffets, you know, and stuff like that. Now it's simplicity. Now it's more about flavor, techniques. People who really travel the world, now they start bringing all that experience and they're like, well, I need to go to Japan to eat a good sushi. Now, like, we got a good sushi. We got a good omakase experience. We got a good Mexican food, like legit, traditional, gourmet. Not just the taqueria. We have everything, a full spectrum. Pizzas from Italy to Japan. Like, you know, Sean Brock just opened a new pizzeria, you know, and people just start travel more to please everybody and grow as a chef, you know. So I think so Nashville will be grow in the restaurant business. Unbelievable. Honest, like so many investors group investing so much money in Nashville. They even for locals so hard to open a restaurant against those investors, you know, because it's not too many people have $5 million sit down in a bank account to open a 5-star omakase, you know, where everything is top of the line. Fish is from Japan. Everything is amazing. And maybe a local guy who got $300,000, $200,000 want to open a restaurant, never going to compete with those people. So it's kind of hard. The market in Nashville how been turned to big corporations.
Well, that's why if you look at what we do, a lot of the videos, and I was just thinking about this the other day, most of our videos are outside of Nashville right now because these killer chefs are opening in markets like Columbia and Gallatin and in surrounding areas because that's what they can afford. Nashville's become too expensive.
Crazy expensive.
For small mom and pop shops.
But that's even good, honest. It's bad and it's good because the city is bringing so much talent. But in the same thing, now when they move in, they start making grow in those areas. Yeah. Like I lived in Hendersonville before and I never remember a really good restaurant in Hendersonville or in Franklin area. Now everybody start, you know, moving around and creating different experience and make the customer drive 30 minutes, 25 minutes. They see the locals too, local things they are in the city or in the county. And it's not just cool being Nashville anymore. Yeah, you can go anywhere.
Well, I'm finding restaurants that are 3 hours away from Nashville that are serving better quality food than you can find in Nashville, and it's 3 hours away in the sticks.
Because sometimes it's timing to cooking. Sometimes when you have 300 people, or 200 people, or 100 people every single day, you worn out the chef.
Oh yeah.
You know, so sometimes you need to think about that. Sometimes people go and they're like, oh, Ray, that restaurant you tell me the other day, it was okay. And like, you need to understand that you need to go one time.
Yeah, you need to go multiple times.
I'm making all this relationship with all my chef because I've been eating in Noco breakfast, lunch, dinner, 14, 15 times in 1 year, you know, like 3 times in 1 month. Like that's how you start learning the food from the customer. Sometimes maybe the chef got a bad day. Like, you have a bad day sometimes.
All the time.
Yes. What about my experience in the car business? Oh, man, the salesman was, you know, give me a bad treatment. Well, you don't know whether that guy have a sick kid or something behind that. They give you that bad experience. Be open that too. Understand you make a big purchase, but maybe sometimes be a little human and find out what is behind that.
What's the future of Rey Bello?
Wow. It's hard because food has been helping me to explore things I never think before, honest. From private jets, from art galleries, from collaboration with local chef without me being a chef. They're going to create something cool. They're going to create a full experience that you would just know dinner. A lot of people when go to a restaurant is just sit down, eat, pay the bill and go. My experience bring absolutely completely game changer. My experience are welcome cocktail, networking, make friends, share with people. And after that, we keep talking that sometimes they shut down the restaurant and people stay in the restaurant, you know, because you make these good friends of community when energy is positive, when everybody's supporting each other. They don't care about money-wise or what do you do for a living. We here eating. And I learned that. I think so food can close any deal. And it's not just when I put on the table. When everybody's on the table and everybody share the same flavor, we start making a friendship because of food. Not because the Lambo you drive outside or the Ford Bronco that you have a special edition. No.
It's the universal language.
We taste it, we connect, and we're like, wow, man, we're vulnerable. Like in that way, like, it's Stuart and it's Ray. Like, wow, like that's so cool. What do you think? Oh man, I tried this, in Japan. Maybe sometime tell you that. Hey, I tried this best sushi roll in Japan. Like, good. What do you learn about that?
Mm-hmm.
This, but this is, and he give you the explanation and you start talking about, and after that, you're just like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I got my Instagram. What do you do? Oh, I do this and I do that. And you start connecting now. And we just like two normal people talking about something so simple. There's a sushi roll.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's a tuna taste.
Mm-hmm.
When we do the tuna taste, I don't do nothing crazy. A lot of people honestly scared to cut a tuna live. I've been learning that from chef a lot. They're like, that's an art. That is a really precise transition. And really, even sometimes I ask sushi chef and say, can you cut a tuna? No. Let the guy cut it and send it to us cut. But when I talk to Alfredo is like, I can do it. And it's hard for Alfredo because he's one of my good friends, but he's a Mexican chef.
Yeah, cutting a tuna.
From
Spain.
Yes.
Yes.
And another thing is like, he's no Japanese. He just know like, he been learning that because the passion that he got for the Japanese culture too. So when he tells me the first time, hey, come on here, let's try together. I tell him, I said, man, we need like a $7,000 blade. He's like, no, I can cut it without the blade. I said, how you do it? I said, I need your help. I'm like, okay, let's try. So for real, like we first tuna, we timing, we put everything together to make sure that everything was perfect. I record everything to make sure that I can analyze every cut and what we miss and how we cut it. And really, we finished 33 minutes.
That's not bad for a full tuna.
And talking like friends, like
155 pounds.
Cleaning,
yeah.
Towel.
What are your thoughts on the brain of the tuna, like the head? It's the best cut of meat on the tuna, isn't it?
Cheeks.
Yeah, the cheeks.
The cheeks are unbelievable. Yeah, cheeks. And a lot of people, I learned that from Joshi. The best miso soup that I tried in my life is Joshi. Joshi, when we cut the tuna in LA Jackson, he hold the head and make a miso soup from the head.
Yeah.
I never tried miso soup like that before in my life. Yeah. So it's different techniques. You see that they're using things in different countries that we don't use here.
Yeah.
So when we decide to do the tuna, he's like, how are we going to do it? And like, let's going to do 6 tasting. We cut it. We do live in front of everybody. And he said, can we do it? I said, of course we can do it. Like, I do the show, you do the cut. And that's how we set up. We put a DJ. We put a crazy vibe on the art gallery. Who cut a tuna in the art gallery? Let's be real. We wasn't at a $12,000 table, chopping a tuna, with a $70,000 light, and we was just showing to everybody how to just talk, have a good time. After that, we prepared the tuna in front of everybody. We don't need to go on the bag and people see, no, every cut, we making it. Everybody was waiting.
I think we need to cut a tuna in a cave.
Anything,
I think that event would be sick.
If we can create an event, and that's what cool is. Nashville start coming to a really short time. You succeed and you go down. People get tired too quick now. Like shoes. I got maybe in maybe 2008, I have 5 shoes. Now I have 100 pair of shoes. And I have different colors, different, this match with this, and I'm a shoe fanatic, but everything in the shoe is like you wear them for 2-3 times and you never wear again.
Yeah. That's why I have 3 pairs of shoes.
Same thing with restaurants. People go, try, take pictures and never go back.
Yeah. That's why we try to encourage people to become loyal customers. You should do that.
Yes.
Because that helps those small mom and pop businesses survive.
In addition to that is, sometimes you need to give it the chef earn your business.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe sometimes he can blow you away the first time, but maybe that night was not the best night. So you cannot talk about the chef or about the restaurant because you have a bad experience that day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it was rushing. Maybe that plate that you grabbed, it was the last plate. Like you never know, And people need to understand that we know AI chef or AI hospitality. You have a bad day. You have sometime in my case, autistic son who got a bad day or he got trouble in school. And sometimes maybe so happy cutting a tuna, I get a school calling me because he had a bad day or he got a rough day. And family need to come together and put everything together. And I need to be like everybody, my friends call me Tuna Ray, you know, and be dad or be ex-husband or be my son and help my father too, you know, because my father is old, he don't speak too much English. I help them, you know, like you never know what you have behind you. Never. Maybe your dog is sick. Like, you know, like this is something really bad happened to us. When the chef was here, he got a call. One of his dog was super sick. Of course, his dog was 18 years old. But when he was prepping that dinner that day, he needed to put down his dog. He's in Nashville, Tennessee. His dog is in Spain.
Yeah.
And he performs to 72 people, top-notch, 5-star, 3 sittings from 5 o'clock to 11 p.m. that we left at night, like a champ, like a pro, when he missing his dog, you know? And we got a dog at home, you know? And he was loving my dog like so much that every time the Gucci goes somewhere, Joshua was going somewhere or Jose, and they follow him everywhere. But is that like, dude, he lost his dog for 18 years. And the guy was performing a full show Michelin in front of everybody, and nobody even figured it out. You know, so sometimes you never know what you have behind that. You need to understand that. And a lot of people don't do that. People go and blast things online or put a bad review or make a bad comment. We missing that connection. And I think so with my dinners, I bring that connection back. Like, see how hard they work. It's not just pretty plates. Like when we do the last dinner in present tense, Chef Ryan cooked everything in front of everybody. We took the bar. You've been in present tense before. We don't make sit down nobody in the tables. We sit down everybody in the bar, in the triangle. So we put everybody facing each other. And he was cooking in front of everybody. Dressing, cutting, preparing. So that way I want to see people how hard it's cooked. Yeah, you can go to a 5-star chef and a 5-star restaurant, pay $500 dinner, whatever. But you don't know how hard it's making it. And how stressful it is make everybody happy. Yes, it's job, but it's art too. And nobody like celebrate that or, you know, value that. So when you see it and you make the chef a superstar, that's what it cool is. Like my job is make him happy. My job is if the chef is not happy, my event never will be a success. I don't care about my people, honest in that way. My main goal, chef, are you okay? Yes. If you're not okay, nobody else is okay. If he's fine, let's go and kill it. And that's what we did. You know, present 10 was unbelievable. You know, we do a welcome cocktail with Genesis Diamond. They put a diamond on the ice. It was so cool. Everybody put a little contribution for the art. I got a Larry Stewart, who's a local artist, designing the menus. Like we start putting so many items now together to create different experience. Because when the customer leave, they leave with a tattoo artist. We got a tattoo artist on the dinner. You know, like it's so many things that use something cool they give you to talk every single time. And you start making connections. And that's what we're missing in Nashville. Everybody's about only Instagram, posts, and likes. But when you sit down, you make a good friendship. That's my main goal. My main goal is connecting people, put everybody together, and have fun and a good energy. You know.
What's the dream event that you want to host?
I would love, honest, create. I would love to create a secret dinner. 100%.
Let's not go into many details. So no one steals the idea because you guys are a bunch of thieves. not our audience, but some people in Nashville are a bunch of thieves.
It's true.
And they don't need to hear this.
The cool part is this, and that's what I started learning in Nashville. When I knocked the door from Nashville, it was hard. But when people start seeing what you're doing and the meaning that what you're doing, like your job, like you promoting all the locals, you promoting everybody how to be, you're not making viral to make the money. You make the viral because you want to support people. And I bet you when you go home and you see your videos helping out somebody else, that makes your day.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The same for me. When I go to an event, everybody's like, man, you have fun. Like, you know, I'm blacked out in the event. My event is help.
And be present.
That's it. You know, a point? Like my job is not shaking hands and kissing babies in that time. My job is help everybody. The chef, clean, cook, whatever I need to do, I'll do it. You know, not just for that. Yeah, it's my event, but the same thing is, I feel like it's my house. Yeah, so I want 100% great experience. And if you see me, you say, hey, I see that guy working. So when you start connecting so many people in Nashville, like I start connecting local artists, DJs, tattoo artists, chef, videographer, drone, like people who fly in drone for record videos, like everything. When you bring that energy and that vision to everybody and you want to help everybody, it's not just me. Like, let me make you shine. Well, how shine? You want to create the menus? Yes. So from that, he got a sale. Later, they want to see his art because they saw it right there. And maybe they see a piece of paper, they never know that he exists. Mm-hmm. Now with the dinners, we increase that. So my dinners want to start involving different artists, different locals, different things like pastries, like whatever y'all good at it. Let's gonna bring it. Let's gonna make a correct experience, because experience is what we're gonna talk about. Flavor, you forget about the flavor, but experience and the people who you met that night is what changed everything.
And how you made how you made somebody feel.
Yes, 100%. That's the most important part, you know. And I like more sometimes. I'm a Instagrammer. I love take pictures of my family. Honest, like I take pictures of anything. I like when I look, like I'm looking for my phone that night and I not took one picture. And when I go to my Instagram, I have maybe 70, 80 people take the picture and tag me because they have fun that night. Mm-hmm. You know, they was proud. They was relaxed. I bet you they go and have a good talk with their wife. You know, they have a good day. You know, they smile. You know, maybe have some issues, and that bring a good, positive way to do something different. You know, to do something different. You know, to feel important. Sometimes people need to feel important. Sometimes, you know, to feel like, oh wow, this is something different. You know, maybe you connect two different people. That person find a job, or find a project, or find anything. So I like to connect the most people I can in different ways. I don't care if they're lawyers, car salesman, chef. I don't know. Everybody have a passion, you know? And when you put that passion together, I discovered this for the last year, that anything is possible. Anything is possible if you don't do it as a profession. Like you never thought that you want to do this before.
I've thought this for a long time.
Yeah. But before even Instagram start, you know, you have the platforms to start open the mind in that way.
I knew I would be in content creation my whole life at some point.
Yeah.
Because I've been creating video content for a very, very, very long time.
So that's your passion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you start getting different platforms to expose how good you are and how you do it. You know, and you start doing it the genuine way. You don't start doing it to get followers because you go and wreck a Lamborghini to a tree. Yeah. You know, you start doing it in the right way. Help communities. Do something to tell histories about people, how to cook the plate, how gorgeous is that food, like how great is it taste. And the good part of that I learned from you is you only do it if you believe it.
Yep.
If you don't like it,
we try. We've had to learn the hard way, but yeah.
You don't put your name on it.
Yeah.
So I like that same thing. If I put my name on it, it's because it's my passion. I don't do it for the money. I do it because I love the experience, and I think so everybody gonna enjoy it. Some people gonna like it, some people gonna love it. But if I do it, it's because that's 100% my vision to do it that way.
Where I know you're going to be doing a lot of events.
Yes.
Where can people get on like a wait list or learn about upcoming events?
Right now, I'm working pretty much to build that. I'm growing so fast in such a short term. There is new doors that open every single day. Like PR people, marketing people, website, you know, emails, like all that. Everything that I've been learning is through Instagram in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, so yes, I learned now to start be more business side, because sometimes you grow so fast that you're just like, wow, like how I can control this? You know, it's just like, really, everybody texts you, everybody calls you, everybody Instagram you, hey, can we have coffee? Can we have lunch? Can we, you know? And sometimes you just start learning all the process. So now, yes, I need to find different ways how I can be professional way and go to another level now to start creating waiting lists, start creating a full website. When we put a full not just my connections, it's just the connections that I got even through my connections. You know, like people who do drone videos, cameras, makeup, fashion designing, all that who work with me, I want to show it to everybody. So that way, if you're going to reach that person, more than welcome. You know, sometimes you have a vision that you can put together with somebody else. Yeah.
Well, Ray, thank you for coming on the podcast. Where can people give you a follow?
It's going to be Rey Bello.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only place.
That's it, yeah.
So if you want to see some of his live events or participate in some of his events, make sure to be following him. We have some really cool collaborations coming out in the future for some live events. So thank you for listening to the show. We'll see you on the next one.
Thank you.